Welcome to Spot On Basics. I'm Rebecca Monet with Zorakle Profiles. Zorakle provides profiling tools to franchisors and franchise consultants that helps facilitate a right fit between a prospective franchisee and a franchise concept. The Zorakle tools are based on 7 statistically validated sciences, one of which I want to talk to you about today, the 5 predictable stages of growth of a franchise organization. And we're going to focus on stage 3, the plug and play franchisor today. But before we get there, what is it exactly that causes a franchisee to be a good fit? So what I recommend if you're a franchisor is that you ask yourself, does this prospective franchisee share our values as a franchise organization? Now, obviously, if you are a franchise consultant, you're going to ask, does this prospective franchisee fit within the values of this franchise concept that I'm interested in showing to my franchise candidate? And does this prospective franchisee fit within this franchisor's stage of growth? And will he or she fit within this franchise system's culture? And is he able and willing to comply with this franchisor's systems and processes? And then, and only then, would I recommend you begin to look at the skills of that prospective franchisee to see that they have what it takes to grow that particular franchise. And if they are also going to then complement the strategic plans of that franchise system. Let's dig now into stage 3, the plug and play franchise organization. This really is the place every franchise organization wants to get to. It's like, this is the perfect place to be if you are a franchisor. So keep in mind, there are 5 primary markers that will let you know what stage of growth you are in, or if you're a franchise consultant, what stage of growth this franchise system is in. The first, of course, is the management style of that franchise organization. The second is the organizational structure of that franchise organization. And you can see it evolves as the franchise system grows. It will also change in structure. And then, of course, we also measure the extent of the formal systems that a franchise system has that will let us know what stage of growth they're in, and the major focus or major strategy that the franchisor has will let us know, and then how involved the concept originator, the founder, is. So I want you to take a quick note here and see that there are actually a stage 3H, what I call hover, and there's a stage 3G. In the hover mode, this is a franchisor who is completely focused on unit level economics, and we'll spend most of our time on just that. But there's also what we call a stage 3G. So the stage 3G franchisor is a franchisor who's now focused on getting additional resources to grow to the next level. He wants to become an empire business. So he's going to go out and grow the business. Oftentimes the way he does that is by becoming a publicly traded organization. So this is usually a later stage 3 organization, but most of our franchisors are going to fall in that 3H place. So let's talk about the stage 3 and some of the wonderful benefits that go along with it. A stage 3 franchisor is a franchisor who has replicable systems. They have a very clear value proposition. They know exactly what they are bringing to the table and what the franchisee needs to bring to the table. And they have really strong, well thought out recruitment processes, training and support strategies in place. So the next wave of franchisees that come in are going to ramp up well simply by embracing the systems and because of the great training and support they're going to get in stage 3. So the major strategy of most stage 3 franchise systems is indeed on franchisee unit level economics. So what's happening here is the franchisor is going to do everything possible to increase the bottom line of their franchisees. So they're going to go out and find national accounts. They're going to help with the local marketing. The franchisor may even have call centers set up to help with appointment setting. They may have vendors and suppliers that are exclusive, that provide certain products and services at a reduced price just to this franchise system. So it's about unit level economics, and the franchisor is ramping up their services to that franchisee so they can indeed be as profitable as possible. So lots of benefits for any franchisee that joins a stage 3 franchise system. Most importantly, of course, is this faster ramp up. There's proven best practices, and then leverageability of all the resources I just mentioned a little bit earlier. But the market is not yet overly saturated. There's still some opportunities. There may not be area development opportunities, and there's probably a limit on cities or areas that are available for multi-unit operators, but there's still some markets available for a prospective franchisee. There's also some pruning opportunities. Some of those early stage franchisees may be in the system for a number of years now, and they may be considering selling and retiring, and there could be some resales available. Other franchisees might be leaving because there's been so many changes that they may no longer be as good a fit in the current culture and the current systems as they might have been in the earlier stage franchise system. There are some folks that are just not comfortable when something gets too big. It becomes too boring, the challenge is no longer there, and so they're just likely going to choose to leave, which provides opportunity for a prospective franchisee. Now, obviously, there are some challenges, one of which we just talked about, which is the retention problem, either people retiring or simply saying, you know what, I don't think I'm a good fit for this franchise system any longer in this stage of growth. There could also be some franchisee validation issues for that very same reason, because we've gone through so much growth and so much change that some franchisees are just not going to be particularly comfortable, especially because many of those changes are around compliance. It's not uncommon that a franchisor in this stage of growth may have in-house legal counsel, and that legal team's job is to protect the brand equity and see to it that all franchisees comply to a certain set of requirements and standards. If you're an early franchisee where you could sort of be willy-nilly, you may no longer be comfortable within a stage 3 franchise organization. One of the other challenges a franchisor will incur is because they're offering all these additional services, the local marketing, exclusive vendor relationships, national accounts, call centers, whatever it is that they're offering, there's costs involved here, and somehow that's got to be handled. Either that gets passed on to the franchisee or the franchisor takes the hit to the bottom line. The other kind of challenge that I see with a stage 3 is because the franchisor is taking on so much themselves, there's this shift from where stage 1 and stage 2 was, where there was a solid collaboration and an interdependence. Now the stage 3 franchisee is more dependent. He's becoming more and more reliant on what the franchisor can do for him. So let's look at the Ellie Grenner, Neil Churchill model for growth based, of course, on size and age oftentimes, but also based on the other 5 markers that we have talked about. So growth for a stage 3 franchise organization is all about delegation. If the franchisor is taking on more and more and less is required of the franchisee, there's going to be high cost of maintaining that. So growth is when the franchisor keeps in mind, this is what we need to do as a franchise system, and we need the franchisee to act and to have certain skills and to be responsible for those other things that we do not do at the ZOR level. So growth will continue if the franchisor is very cautious about not taking on too much and to be good at delegating. That could mean franchisees are sitting on committees to make determinations on where the marketing dollars are spent, or they're asked to become mentors or coaches to other franchisees. But it is about delegation, not just at the corporate level, but it's also at the franchisee level. Now, naturally, the crises that can be experienced in stage 3 is a crisis of control, either not getting control quick enough by bringing in more of this protect the brand equity mentality and compliances, or it's too much control. We are now controlling everything as a franchise, or we're not allowing the franchisee to think outside the box at all, to make any decisions on their own. So the crisis of control is either we're taking too much control as franchise systems, and that causes costs to go up, and basically, one system is there to perpetuate another system, or we're not taking enough control, and things can, kind of go out of, go left or go right, simply because we're not paying attention. So let's look at the spot on profile. So this is a prospective franchisee that scores in a 3 and a 4. So this is a prospective franchisee that's going to fit perfect in that plug and play franchise system, but he's also someone that can grow into an empire business, or he could fit into an empire business. So this is someone that could fit either in a stage 3 hover or a stage 3 grow. He's going to be comfortable in either of those places, and he's going to be prepared for when that franchisor moves to the empire business, if indeed that franchisor has chosen to go out and get investment dollars to get to that empire role. And we're going to talk about that in another training session. Here's another spot on profile. Here's a candidate that scores in a 3 and in a hybrid stage 5. So typically a hybrid is a large franchise umbrella that has many different size franchises underneath it. So think neighborly brand or outdoor living or home franchise concepts might be a handful of examples. So this is a prospective franchisee that fits in a franchise system that's a 3, or in a hybrid where one of those concepts is indeed a stage 3. So bottom line, it's all about fit, right? It's all about franchisee, franchisor fit. A compatible franchisee is going to validate better, is going to retain better, is going to cost less to train and support, is going to be a happy little clam, and most importantly, he's going to embrace the systems, and he or she is going to perform better. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about stage 4 in our next training session. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to any one of us here at Zorakle. We're here to help you do more deals.